Guys, we all remember this viral photo of Mac Jones, right, at Alabama. Check out this photo from over the weekend. Was posted on his Instagram. How about that?
The way the season ended, he got his body stronger now, and he's going to get even stronger when the season continues.
I feel tremendous empathy for New England Patriots fans in the sense that I don't think they had much of an exciting offseason. And the reason I feel empathetic towards them is, well, I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan, and we didn't really have a good offseason ourselves. But this upcoming news should make you guys feel a little bit more optimistic for the future. So before we get to the content, I want to give you guys a heads up that I have a minor procedure on Thursday. I'm guessing that I'm going to be out for like 3 to 4 days, but I'm going to do my best to get you guys as much content as humanly possible while I'm gone, and we're going to sprinkle some shorts in there as well. This is not a shorts channel. Also, if you think I talk way too much, we upload 1-minute versions of this content on my TikTok page at Mikerophone NFL and on my Instagram at The Flight Mike. If you want to go the extra mile to support me, you could join our channel memberships program or subscribe to us on Patreon. Now that we got all that out of the way, break! Mic check 1 2 1 2. What's going on, everybody? Look, I know some New England Patriots fans aren't going to like the way I open up this video, but when it comes to biggest offseason winners and losers, I'd say this year one of the biggest offseason losers are my Dallas Cowboys and also the New England Patriots. Now, I wanted to say that just because you won the offseason doesn't necessarily mean you're gonna win a Super Bowl. I mean, did the Cincinnati Bengals win the 2020 offseason before becoming AFC champions? Hell, the team that they beat in the AFC championship, the Kansas City Chiefs, were one of my biggest winners of the 2021 offseason, primarily because they were able to get Patrick Mahomes a better offensive line. That was clearly what he was missing in the Super Bowl, where he got decimated by Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But ultimately, that just goes to prove that just because you win the offseason doesn't necessarily mean you win a Super Bowl. As a matter of fact, one of our most popular videos is a collaboration with the incredible Set the Edge. Make sure you go check him out, where we discuss the worst super team in NFL history, the 2011 Philadelphia Eagles. There's another super team that absolutely flopped. Let me know in the comment section down below, because I'd love to make another video like that. But in the case of the New England Patriots, man, I mean, their hands were tied. They went on a gigantic spending spree during the 2021 NFL offseason, where they added players like Hunter Henry, Jonnu Smith, Nelson Aguilar, Kendrick Bourne. What was his name? Matthew Judon. All those were off the top of my head except for Matthew Judon. Pretty impressive, right? And as a result, they were probably going to lose out on some of their best players this past offseason in order to make up the salary cap. Now, this past offseason, they ended up saying goodbye to players like Shaq Mason and Ted Karras. And most importantly, they lost the most coveted defensive back in the entire free agency class, and that's J.C. Jackson. Now, we don't know if J.C. Jackson's going to be a bona fide superstar on the LA Chargers or not, but on paper, it's looking really good for the LA Chargers. I mean, they traded for Khalil Mack, they're pairing it with Joey Bosa, they signed J.C. Jackson. I mean, they're really making the most out of Justin Herbert's rookie scale contract. But on top of that, the New England Patriots are facing a similar type of animal in their same exact division. Once the Miami Dolphins decided that they're not going to trade for a quarterback upgrade over Tua, they decided to build around him because he too is on a rookie scale contract. So they went out and got him the best overall free agency player in the entire 2022 free agency class in Terron Armstead. They traded for Tyreek Hill. They already had Jalen Waddle. They have a nice new stable of running backs, which should be really fun to watch because Mike McDaniel's coming from Kyle Shanahan's offensive scheme, and he kind of does something similar where he just has an RBC with some really speedy running backs. So ultimately, things aren't necessarily the most exciting for the New England Patriots. And when you bundle that with the fact that, well, they don't know if it's going to be Matt Patricia or Joe Judge calling the plays this year, which, look, I understand that just because you're a bad head coach or you just didn't perform well as a head coach doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be a bad offensive coordinator. When you consider the fact that Matt Patricia never was an offensive coordinator throughout his entire 20-plus year career as a coach/coordinator, then that could be a little concerning. The jury's out on Joe Judge, but still, it's not necessarily an offseason that New England Patriots fans are really excited about. Their best move this past offseason was the acquisition of Devontae Parker. But there is one glimmer of hope for the New England Patriots, and I know I just gave you guys a bunch of reasons not to be hopeful. One, you guys have the best head coach in the entire NFL, which already, like, as a Cowboy fan, that's something that I desperately wish we had, like a head coach that we could look at and say,
this guy makes smart adjustments and is a brilliant football mind.
I don't think I've ever got to experience that as a Dallas Cowboys fan. I was too young to truly appreciate the Jimmy Johnson era. But in addition to that, it appears as though they hit on their drafting of Mac Jones. Now look, there's this one picture that went absolutely viral of Mac Jones when he initially got drafted to the New England Patriots. And it's this picture of him smoking a cigar with the world's most epic dad bod. I mean, look at that. Doesn't really necessarily look like the most athletic human being, but again, this was when he was drafted. Now, I like to have relatively low expectations for rookie quarterbacks because the NFL's freaking hard, man. But Mac Jones came in, beat Cam Newton for the starting quarterback position, and then proceeded to put together a very impressive rookie campaign. I mean, in his first season under center, Mac Jones threw for over 3,800 yards, completed 67.6% of his completions, threw 22 touchdowns and 13 interceptions, and was able to lead the New England Patriots to the playoffs, which this is a team that's still rebuilding. The fact that he was able to do that in his rookie year with a rebuilding roster with wide receivers like Jacoby Myers and Kendrick Bourne and Nelson Aguilar. I mean, no offense to those guys, but it's not like he had Devontae Adams or DeAndre Hopkins as his wide receiver. And then finish second place in offensive rookie of the year voting is very impressive in of itself. Now, the one thing that you hope for whenever you draft a brand new quarterback to build around is that he is trying to consistently improve. If Mac Jones went into this season and took a step back, well, that would have been a little bit concerning. But it looks like Mac Jones has been locked in all offseason long. And this has been a thing. I mean, we've got multiple articles and multiple pictures to back up this statement. So Kendrick Bourne originally said that Mac Jones is in the best shape of his life. He looks really good and his stomach is gone. When you're a rookie, you just don't know it until you go through it for a year. So he's definitely a lot more in shape than he ever was and is just dominating in conditioning. Mac Jones himself said that he cleaned up his diet and he learned more this offseason than he probably ever has about nutrition, sleep, wellness, and all of that stuff. And the cool thing is that Mac Jones didn't seem to do this on purpose. He says that he hasn't necessarily been looking to lose weight, but he tipped the scales at 217 pounds last season, and he wants to stay close to that weight. He just wants to add muscle mass and shed some body fat, primarily so he could still take hits in the pocket. Now, Mac even said that I need to be able to maintain my weight and be able to take hits. There's a fine balance for every player. I've definitely trimmed down on the body fat, and I'll get a chance to bulk up before the season starts and be able to absorb hits. And well, this is before we got an absolutely viral picture of Mac Jones looking relatively slim. I mean, take a look at this man. The man looks absolutely incredible. He lost a decent amount of fat off of his face. His arms look a little bit more muscular. You can see he's sweating like crazy. And it's definitely something to be excited about moving forward if you're a New England Patriots fan. I mean, if Mac Jones could take a step forward this year, I still think the Patriots could potentially make it to the playoffs. I don't necessarily know about Super Bowl contention, but when you have Bill Belichick as your head coach, really anything could happen. The man understands football on a completely different level. So let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think about this picture of Mac Jones. Aside from that, I'm your boy Mike, and I'm dropping our mic until our next upload.